About to get to it. Nothing to it but to get nothing to do it. Man, I lost my saying how it goes. There's a saying I was gonna say. Nothing to it but to get to do it or something. I lost my saying.
Well. Welcome in. And guess what, you guys? This is a Candidly with Coffee off-topic crossover collab, whatever you want to call it. We're actually just kind of testing things out. You know what I mean? Like, I find that although I love our Patreon show, I want to love Candidly with Coffee just as much as I love our Patreon show. And I feel like when we're comfortable and we're sitting in these chairs, it feels just more relaxed and more us.
True.
And is it feeling a little hot in here?
I'm
Do you think
good.
the air kicked in?
Yeah, it kicked in. I can feel it.
Anyway, so this is actually the set of our show on Patreon, which is Off Topic. And of course, if you want to join us over on Off Topic, it's uncensored, unfiltered, wild a little bit at times. And so even though we may be sitting in the same chairs with the same sign and all of that, the content is still a little bit different over there. But I thought it'd be fun to do a little Candidly with Coffee action over here in the green chairs, I like to say, the money chairs.
You know what? You just gave me an idea.
I did?
Yeah. I think I want to do one of my interviews, like next person interview on these chairs.
Yeah.
I want to mix it up.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I get bored of doing the same shit over and over and over. I really do. I need to mix things up, and I like that. Like we're mixing it up. It's more comfortable.
That's why I have multiple scenes. I actually even plan on incorporating another scene if we expand like we're planning doing, just to switch it up. You know, it doesn't have to be the same all the time. We still have we have our Candidly with Coffee cube has followed us here. But yeah, so I'm excited to just kind of have a chill, relaxing, candid conversation.
Candid.
Because that's why we do this, right? Is to be candid, relaxed, not so structured.
Not so tight and formal. Because sometimes in that over there feels
a little tight.
Formal.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't like formal and tight. I like just chill, let me be myself.
Yeah, I've just realized that when I'm having these conversations in these chairs, even when I have like guests and stuff here, it's just a different flow of energy.
Isn't that crazy psychologically?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. But so, yeah, we are on the set. So let us know. I want to know what you guys think, though, because you guys are the ones that matter. Let us know. Do you feel a different vibe because we're sitting in these chairs? We're facing you a little better. I know that you guys like that. And, if you like it, maybe we will kind of do more shows over here. And maybe, for right now, we're only doing the single camera, but I can do multi-camera here and, get the show produced.
That's true.
Having someone behind the camera doing the switching and stuff. But, we are always open to suggestions. We want to continue to grow this thing and we love you guys. And so let us know what you think in the comments of our home for now, for today, for today's show.
For today's show, let us know, you guys. We love the feedback.
Yeah. I mean, we've been
and the comments.
We've been busy. I'm sure you guys can tell. Life is just busy.
That's an understatement.
Which, by the way, cheers. Coffee cheers. Candidly with Coffee.
Got to.
Getting candid with the coffee.
Yep, always. Especially today, we really are. And you are too for once. No energy drink.
Hannah Coffee Co.
Oh, my goodness.
On the Alameda. We love Hannah Coffee Co. It does not give me a tummy ache. I love it. So, yeah, you have... This is coming out this episode is a Monday episode. Right now over on Esco Elite Mindset is Mike's biggest interview so far with Adam Schaefer from Mind Pump.
You guys got to tap into that one, man. That's a special one. And when I say special, me and Adam have history. Yeah. The reason I'm married to this woman is because of Adam. He was my boss at 24 Hour Fitness, gave me a shot at a job when 2 years after getting out of prison, he's like, hey, no judgment. Go ahead, kid. Come on, let's kill it.
Yeah, and he talks about that. He talks about like why he did give you the chance and what made him intrigued to hire you. And I think it goes to show why he was so successful at what he did there, because he thought outside the box. He thought outside the box. And he still does. I mean, look at him.
He's killing the game.
He's got the Midas touch.
He does. Yes, he does. That dude is smart. And when he was my boss, he set hefty goals like you do. Aggressive goals. Like, all right, guys, this month, we're going to hit 100 grand. I'm like, all right, Mike, I want 10 grand plus. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot in personal training.
Right.
I'd kill it. 10, 12 grand, 15 grand, we murdered. 100 to 150. No one is even in our ballpark when it came to personal training sales. Not even close. He was a good team leader. I got to give it to him. He knows how to lead a team.
So you guys got to check out that episode. He gives like relationship, life, business hacks, like literal things. You should be able to come out of that episode with at least one thing that you can take and implement into your life in whatever. Doesn't matter what field you're in, what you're doing, just something. There's definitely something. And that's, to me, a good episode. If you can watch a podcast, listen to a podcast, and get one actionable nugget from that show, that's a good freaking show.
Yes,
that's not a wasted hour of your time. Because, look, time is the most precious asset on earth.
It is. People don't value it enough.
Yeah, they do not. They do not, for sure. And I had a very special episode that came out on Friday with Crystal and Zenaida Carrasco. If you haven't listened to that, you guys, I highly recommend listening to it. There's definitely nuggets in there as well. Something to be learned on how to live life even when it throws you the worst of the worst curveballs.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse as a parent. If you're a parent listening, you know, nothing worse that you can have to deal with than the potential mortality of your child.
How do you live with that? Like that every day?
Nothing worse.
No, it's
Nothing
crushing.
worse.
You always say something very truthful. You're like, if my kids aren't good, I'm not good.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And Crystal, man, she's a strong woman and inspiring. And, you know, she didn't come on and pretend it's a bed of roses, but she's like, but you still have to stop and say like, hey, today is a good day, or today's going to be a good day. You have to really switch your mindset or else you'll crumble. You'll crumble.
Easy.
Crumble.
You'll break every day knowing that your baby's sick, you know, cancer, and then you're free of anything. You're disease free, but your child is sick. It's hard to live with that.
Yeah.
Feels like I'd rather take that as a parent. Any parent would rather take that on.
Yeah.
Take that away from the child.
And Zenaida, what a strong little girl.
Oh, she's
resilient, tough. You could tell. You see it. She's tough girl, tough cookie. I got her bracelets on here right now. She made me these bracelets, which I love. So I added to my stack. It says Boss Babe, and Candid with Coffee. She has a website. It's zjewelrybox.shop, I think. I'll put it in the description. But yeah, she's support. I mean, everyone buys people will freaking fill a cart at Home Goods with a bunch of shit and coffee mugs and things they don't need.
Garbage.
You know, how about buy some bracelets from a little girl who literally started making them in the hospital, started making these bracelets and giving them to the nurses, giving them to the kids, to the girls, the little kids having their chemo. You know, buy some bracelets, drop them off at your local hospital. Tell them to give them out in the children's floor.
She found her purpose, even though she was going through her darkness. She still found purpose and joy. You know, that they gave her purpose. That's crazy.
Amazing, right?
Yes.
And they found a lot of healing and a lot of strength through fitness, which I loved. You know, I love to hear that.
I think that we need to talk about that more, because I think when the word fitness is thrown out, they think of aesthetics only. They think, oh, I'm working out, I'm going to look good and aesthetically change and physically change. Yes, that's true. But here, I don't want to go off topic, but I will for a second.
Well, you go off topic since the sign is lit up behind you.
So check this out. So when I came out of my darkness after my unalive attempt, the one place my wife took me to that I absolutely did not want to go to, but she knew I had to get him back, I had to get my baby back in there because this will bring him back to life, was the gym. She knew the gym would bring my mental fortitude back. At first, I hated it. I was mad. What am I doing in here? I don't want to be in the gym. I felt like a fraud. I felt like a imposter syndrome. That's what I felt like. I was walking around like imposter, like I don't belong in here. This isn't me no more. I was thinking that, like, this is my house. What do you mean?
I remember because I watched you walking around.
Aimlessly.
I knew you were pissed.
I was.
But
you knew eventually, all right, he's going to one machine, two machine, get that blood flow.
And get the hormone to release that dopamine, that adrenaline, whatever, to get that to even a little bit. And you're like, whoa, that actually kind of feels good. I think Crystal had that experience when she first went in, like, whoa, no wonder my husband goes. You know, you'll have to take a listen to that episode. But it's so true. Yeah, it really is. It helped me through, my dealing with my mom's grief and all of that. People need to stop looking at like healthy lifestyle related habits and things that you should be doing as negatives.
Right.
They're positives.
They're positives.
Switch your mindset. The ability to go to the gym, that's a positive. Not, oh, I have to go to the gym.
Right.
The ability
you get to go to the gym.
Eat a nourishing, delicious meal. The ability to have a good night's sleep. Don't look like when I prescribe these habits to my clients, don't look at those as negatives. Like, man, I got to check these boxes. It's the stuff I have to do in order to lose weight. No, you got to look at those things as a positive. You got to switch that mindset. If you have a negative feeling towards having to do those things, oh, I got to eat a lot of protein. No, you should say, I get to eat a lot of protein. I'm excited to eat a lot of protein because it's going to change my body. I'm going to, reach my goals. You got to switch that.
You do. You got to switch that way of thinking. Not only is it going to change your body, it's going to change your mind. It's going to strengthen your mind. It's going to callous your mind because it is hard. It ain't easy. But guess what? When you do the hard things in life, you get physically, mentally, and spiritually stronger. It worked for me, and it's worked for many. And again, beyond the aesthetics and the physical look, what it does to the mind. Like you said, you told me something earlier that her husband, Zenaida is her name?
Yeah. No, Crystal is the mom.
Crystal? You said, told her husband, why are you going to the gym during these times?
Yeah, like we have so much going on. I need help with the kids, and we have so much going on. And he would tell her, like, you need to go too. Like, I do it for my mental health. And she didn't get it. And he couldn't force her. Just like we can't force our clients or we can't force the people that are watching us day in and day out on social media. But when you're ready, it's there for you. It's there. And it doesn't turn anybody away. Never. There's no color lines, gender lines, nothing.
Age limit.
Nothing.
Don't forget your age limit. You just picked up a lady, 7 years old? What?
Yeah, well, she didn't sign up yet, but I had a good conversation with her. And, man, she had a story. She has an excellent story. And talk about pushing through adversity.
Yeah.
And being that mental fortitude getting you through.
Yes. It's so important. People overlook that. It goes over people's head how important that is.
Yeah, and with that mindset, it's like when someone talks to me, and I tell them, like, I know I might say this, but I don't say this to everybody I talk to. Trust me. When I can tell someone's got it, I'm like, you've got it.
Yeah.
You've got it. You just don't quite have the expertise to get to where you want to go, but you have the mindset, and that's the harder part.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
It takes time to build that up.
Yeah.
But guess what? When you get that, people, you're unstoppable, unbreakable. It's crazy. The mind is two things. It could be your best friend or your worst enemy. At one point, it was my worst enemy. And then I turned into my best friend, turned into like, all right, I went through adversity, now I'm going to use this. Now I look at all my past pain and trauma. Nah, no feeling sorry for myself. I use that as my strength. Like, hell yeah, we got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
you know what? Another thing I think is interesting, because don't you agree with this? That it doesn't mean just because you say, okay, now I'm mentally strong, that it's all good. It's like you're constantly course correcting, because the mind definitely wants to shift back into the demons definitely creep in.
Yes, I agree with you.
And it's a constant, but you become better at pushing them out.
Yep.
Like, get the F out of here.
Yes.
Like, I know what you're doing. Get out.
Yeah. They come back. They creep.
And sometimes even if it's not quite as dark as like maybe someone who has had mental illness or real struggles with mental health, but even like stress and just like self-doubt, because that's something I say I kind of deal with, is at times, every time I get to like a new level, the little bit of imposter syndrome kind of like creeps in, and I have to constantly say, no, I know what you're doing. You always do this and I start to now look at it as a positive, because I only feel that way when I'm breaking through to another level. And so I'm like, okay, this is a good thing. I hate that feeling, and I know it's BS because I'm here because I deserve to be here, but you still have to deal with it nonetheless. And so I don't want people to think that just because we proclaim that we're so mentally strong and mental toughness mindset, that means that we're always good. It's not the truth. We're really good at getting back to the good. Right?
We're good at course correcting.
Course correcting.
Because listen, I got tested 4 months ago, and I know I've talked about it when I got hit with that stroke. I had self-doubt and fear. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was all tough in the hospital. Hell no, I was scared, but I was like, you know what, though? I just self-talk with myself. Like, you know what, Mike? You preach all this about mindset and mental fortitude. Well, guess what? Here's your test, homeboy. Let's see what you're going to do with this now.
Yeah.
And that's why I told myself, all right, I'm not caving. I'm not breaking. I'm not going to go crawl in a hole and feel sorry for myself and get depressed. Hell no, you were worried about that, but I wasn't. Like, nope. I'm not gonna throw this work away that I built over the last 4+ years before my other episode.
Yeah,
like, nope, not going
and
back.
it's about, again, I know we throw this term around a lot, but it's all about like turning pain into purpose, pain into power, utilizing it as like a rocket fuel of sorts. So even in your dark moments, you could think there's got to be something that's really good that's going to come out of this. And some people can think that that's a negative, I've been told like, oh my God, that's like Kris Jenner. Like she would turn all the trauma in her family into some money cash cow, right?
Yeah.
But I tend to like to try to do that. There's actually a topic that we're going to be talking about on our Patreon show that comes out on Wednesday that is in the same vein with this, but it's not appropriate for Candidly with Coffee. But if you are interested in joining us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description and you could take a listen there. But it's around the same topic. I want to give like kind of an update on what's going on with my dad and just some stuff with that. And it has to do with the darkest moments in life. There's still a positive that you can take out of it. And so I'm going to go deeper into that on Patreon for sure today. Well, Wednesday. That will come out. But on a lighter note, the detox pool party is Sunday, June 23rd. And
how much time we got? Let's see. Where we at? 31st.
It's at the Holiday Inn.
3 weeks away.
And we're going to be there. And tickets, I'm going to put the link in the description. You guys buy tickets. Come to the detox pool party.
Yeah, we'd like to say hi to you guys.
Yeah, I want to meet some of you guys. I think it'd be cool. So if you're local, like why not come out and have a good time? There's going to be really good music. I know I've met a lot of the DJs that are in the lineup. It's a great lineup. And it's going to be a fun day.
I got a few friends that want to come. My client wants to come, so I need that link too for him. And my people. I'm going to throw it to my car club and see who's going to want to come.
Yeah, like why not? It'd be fun.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun. I think Alyssa and all her friends are going to be there. Yes. I think Tyler might be there. So it's going to be a fun day. Yeah. I'm excited about it.
I can't wait to promote it for them. We're going to see some old faces.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. So yeah, definitely check out the detox.
Meet and greet. Come on, come meet the Escobars.
Yeah. One Up Nutrition is my go-to for all things supplements and protein powders. I just got back from a trip to Miami recently, and there is this new combination that I'm calling the trifecta to help you get back to your pre-vacation weight and reduce all that bloat and digestive discomfort from the treats. I did the Gut Health Plus the Daily Cleanse plus Watershed for a couple of days. And let me tell you, I was feeling so good, flat, and back to my lean self within just a few days after that trip. It was amazing. Also, you guys, my favorite protein powder just restocked, peanut butter cookie. Mike and I use peanut butter cookie to make protein peanut butter. We make sandwiches. We top it on yogurt, top it on oatmeal, use it on our overnight oats. It is so delicious and a total game changer. Only 110 calories a scoop and 25 grams of protein. Make sure you get yourself some tubs before they sell out because it does sell out quite frequently. Use my code Jeanine for a discount on all things at One Up Nutrition. Yeah, exactly. Okay, moving on to hot coffee topic. So Jax Taylor from the Valley, also from Vanderpump Rules, him and his wife Brittany they're on like a trial separation, and he was supposed to be working on some things in order for them to get back together. And he claimed that he wants to be in the marriage and he's going to work on things. Well, it's been a few months now, or a couple of months since their separation, and he's now been seen out with this girl from OnlyFans. Like he's full blown dating this chick from OnlyFans.
It's over.
Yeah, but here's my question for you, because I know you don't watch Vanderpump, so it's not really about Vanderpump or the Valley, but do you think it's appropriate for couples that are separated to start dating? But if they haven't actually gotten divorced, but they're just separated? Because I think people are like, oh my God, he's still married. How dare him?
You got to elaborate more on that.
Well, they're separated, living in separate houses. Oh. But okay,
here, let me give you my 2 cents.
That's what I want.
Yeah. If I've fallen out of love and I'm not feeling the marriage no more, and I think I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out, I want to go test the waters and see how my freedom feels. And if I love the way my freedom feels more than being in this marriage, I'm out.
Yeah.
Me personally.
Because
I operate. Now, me personally, it's not for all you guys. This is how I operate.
Well, but on a separate topic I think it's a dangerous territory if Brittany wanted to do actual separation to work on the marriage. I think that's an oxymoron. Like that's dangerous territory. If you're separated, you're separated and you are both technically open to dating. I don't believe that the ink has to be dry on divorce papers to start dating. I mean, obviously I would be such a hypocrite because I was separated for a long time before my marriage was my divorce was final. Yes. And we were full-blown dating. I was dating galore, then we were dating, we were moved in together, and my divorce still wasn't final.
That's right. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I honestly dragged my feet just because I got so busy with life and living life that to me, we weren't on a trial separation. It was 100%. We're getting divorced. It wasn't a separation.
Yeah.
So just because the ink wasn't dry, and I'm sure there's people out there that talked shit because we were because I was dating and stuff. But he was dating too. He met his wife while we were separated.
Yeah.
So for us, it was, But I think a lot of people are out on social media are like talking like they're not even divorced. That's cheating. I'm like, well, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
They are living separate lives. They're separated.
What you think because I signed a paper you own me forever? No.
Now, I mean, Jax is a douchebag. He is the king.
You met him.
Of douchebags. And he claimed his words and actions never align. He's one of those people that says one thing but does another. And he talks about like, oh, marriage forever. I don't believe in divorce, blah, blah, blah. They're on a trial separation. He wants to get back together, but now he's like full blown.
Well, listen, man, you know how he's a dirtbag? He's not a good person. I'll tell you one thing. I do know from watching that show, Vanderpump with you. When you sleep with your homie's girl, that's right there is all bad. Yeah. That's a bad character right there. That's not a good dude.
Yeah.
That's all bad. He's a bad soul. You don't do that kind of stuff. I don't care if she comes on you strong because I've had friends of mine where their wives and girls have come on to me. Yeah. I'm like, I draw that fucking line in the sand.
Ooh, that sounds like it's going to be a continuation on Patreon. Patreon. We're going to talk about that. Okay. That was a good story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. You know what's interesting? You said exactly verbatim what Nick Viall said on his podcast, The Viall Files. He said, there are people that do bad things, but that are good people. He goes, based on what I know of Jax and what I see and witness, he is not a good person in his soul.
No.
He's just not a good person, and he's not a good person who does bad things. And then his actions and words are not in line.
No, I've watched that show with you plenty of times. He's a phony baloney.
Phony baloney.
I could read a dude a mile away. That dude is a phony baloney. I could smell him a mile away.
Yeah.
I do not partake or entertain those people in my life at all. Never have, never will. Listen, I've had even this. This is a bro code that I live by. Not many men live by this. I've had this happen to me. I had a friend of mine. His ex and him were broken up. It was already years in the making. I want to say, I think the dude was away on vacation. You know who it is. His ex hit up on me. She wanted to hang out. Beautiful girl.
Wow.
Most dudes would have Google Gaga and jumped.
Does he know that?
No, I just never said nothing. I just for what? I don't want you to start nothing. I'm cool, but I didn't entertain it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of dudes, I don't. Oh, if I'd known you were friends, I would not hook up with your ex. That's just not my thing.
Man, that between the after show and the Patreon show this week, we have lots of good things to talk about. Oh, man. Turn this off. Man, that's shady.
So but there's a lot of dudes, and you've gotten mad at me because I was just joking around with you, like, babe, what if we pretend we broke up? We see how many.
I hate when you say that. It's so annoying to me.
Shady ass fucking characters will come out of the woodwork because it would expose a lot of people. No, we're not gonna do that, babe. I'm just saying. I'm just joking. But but there's a lot of dudes who love. I've had it happen to me, guys. I'm seeing with my ex. Hey, go ahead, have fun. You got my leftovers. I ain't even tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, you see them. thirsty ass dudes can't pull nothing on their own.
All right, moving on to Baby Reindeer, the show on Netflix.
Weirdo show.
It's like a limited series. It's so good though, and I'm not done yet. And so, spoiler alert, kind of. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. It's really weird and dark, but I did learn some things. Remember, I told you it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Not only is it based on a true story, but the guy in it is the guy. He wrote, produced, and starred in Baby Reindeer.
That dude.
So that's the guy that it happened to.
Wow.
And over the course of like 2 years, so basically it's a Netflix true story-ish limited series about a guy who had this stalker. They're from Scotland, but actually it took place in the UK. And it's about this weird like lady that just becomes obsessed with this bartender comedian guy. And over the course of like 2 years, she sent him 42,000 emails.
Oh my goodness.
It's a baby reindeer.
Weirdo.
My baby reindeer. She was a freaking weirdo.
That's weird.
And she is now coming out saying that it's not true. But she did do some jail time.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh.
She did jail time.
Behind that?
Yeah, she's saying it's not true. I have also heard, because I'm only about halfway through, I heard that the last episodes get really crazy. Like it kind of takes a crazy turn. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. But Baby Reindeer, if you're looking for something interesting to watch, I woke up, I fell asleep and I woke up and it was still on and it was on some crazy part. Yeah.
I'm way behind.
It was crazy, but you should definitely watch it.
I always say this though.
It's kind of dark.
I always tell you, I was running amok for about 4 years single, and I got lucky. I never got me a crazy stalker.
Oh yeah, that's what you did say. I never like had a stalker.
No, I've been lucky because I was worried about that. I always make sure I felt the chick out. If I sensed any like she's a stage 5 clinger, I'm out quick.
Yeah,
I have instinct on.
So in Baby Reindeer, he friends requested, or she friends requested him, and he was kind of like him and Han, like, oh, should I accept her? The minute he accepted her, she went crazy, like commenting on pictures that were like 10 years old, and like just went crazy inside, like commenting and liking on every single picture.
Yeah.
So I had a situation where someone that I dated briefly, I got those red flag vibes. Like,
oh, really?
Whoa. And it's so funny because I actually told him, I'm like, you know what? These are red flags for me. Sorry. Like, this is a no-go. Yeah, he went in my Facebook. Well, first of all, I let the request sit in there for a minute. And then I think I just finally accepted the request. Like, oh, it's like harmless, right? Well, then he went back in like my Facebook and like started asking me questions about like old pictures and stuff in my Facebook.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Really creepy.
That's
and I actually
flag.
said to him, like, I actually used the word red flag. I said, you know what? This is a red flag for me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
yeah.
Unfriend.
Funny is you didn't even give me your Facebook in the beginning when we first
I think that's probably why. Part of it.
You were like,
because he was before you.
He was kind of like, it's right now it's for family. You gave me some stuff. I said, no worries, don't worry about it. I didn't take no offense to it.
Yeah.
I knew you were going through your shit with your ex.
Well, yeah, I knew he was going to pay. I knew also that he probably was paying attention to every single like new person I added and stuff like that too. I just didn't want the drama.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Understandable.
Red flag.
Life is busy, and when life gets too busy for you to meal prep or plan out your meals for the week and pack your lunch for work, then MegaFit Meals is an absolutely delicious, great, healthy option. They are frozen meals that you can have in your freezer ready to go when life gets busy, and they're delicious, easy to stay within your macros, large portion, no subscription is required, and they are just the perfect thing to have on hand. They rotate their menu, and they actually just added some delicious ones. They have chicken tenders, they have granola cheesecake bites, a jalapeno burger, and fries. You guys, you wouldn't believe that these meals are macro friendly. They're absolutely delicious. The link is down in the description. And if you've never tried them, I do have a special discount code. Send me a DM on Instagram at JS Body Bootcamp and just ask for the MegaFit code and I'll give you a discount.
Well, we had some, not that we're going to share, we're going to be those annoying influencers right now. We definitely had a cool meeting today that's like some exciting things in the books.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, annoying influencer for sure. But don't you think that was a good meeting today?
We're influencers, huh? We're part of that crew?
I mean, what do you want to call it? Yeah.
I guess. Inspirational motivators.
Coaches. But yeah, influencers too. But we had, besides the point, I was talking about the meeting. How'd you feel about that?
Felt like it went really good, really well. He was excited, happy. I was feeling his energy.
Yeah.
I always feel people's energy. That's why I like to see them either Zoom or in person.
Yeah.
Because over phone, you could hear the excitement, but you can't really see how their body language is.
Yeah, I think it's important. I'm finding that it's important to connect with people. And if you can't be in person with them, at least on camera.
Or FaceTime.
It does help. Yeah. So, we had a good meeting, and stay tuned for that because hopefully there is going to be some exciting announcement very soon. But, we're doing some things over here, the Escobars.
Oh, yes, we are. We're catapulting.
On another note, it's my 1 year anniversary. Can you guess what it's my 1 year anniversary of?
Oh, I know. 1 year anniversary?
Do you know what?
I was going to say, but she's 2. I was going to say Phoebe's birthday.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. She's 2.
Oh, my God. She's going to be 2 on Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I started thinking. Like, wait a minute, the 1st
June.
June.
You guys, so for you guys watching this, Phoebe was 2 years old yesterday. Her birthday's Sunday.
Yeah. 1 year anniversary. Oh, yeah, I know.
What?
I know now.
What?
Sobriety.
No.
Free? Oh.
Just,
damn.
That's strike 2, but that's coming up on June 26th.
Oh.
That will be the detox pool party. I'll be celebrating my 1 year sobriety.
Wow.
One more.
I'm a little ahead.
One more chance.
1 year.
No?
I don't know.
You can't have no idea? Menopause. I entered menopause, officially became in menopause last May. And as a celebration, I did actually I'll put it up here. I did a video on Instagram of exactly 1 year ago. I remember when I took those pictures and video, I sent it to you. I'm like, well, babe, here it is.
You were a little depressed and down about it.
What's that word you always say?
You were aguitada. You said in Spanish. Like,
I love that word.
Wah, wah, wah. Like, woe is me.
I was like, babe, this is what I look like.
This is the woman you're married to. I never said nothing.
But here's the thing. I'm not saying that body's, oh my God, it's that bad or anything. I mean, obviously that person, I was tracking macros, working out, all the things, but that was not up to my standards for myself.
That's what people don't realize. We all have different standards in life. We all have different levels we play with money, physical fitness.
Right.
Whatever the case may be, everybody has their own standards.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that if you do not look like the one on the left that, oh my God, I can't believe that. Everyone has different levels that they're playing at, right? So if a millionaire makes $10, they're not too happy, right?
No.
But if a little kid makes $10 at their lemonade stand, they're happy. So everyone's playing at different levels. So I'm not trying to insult anybody by posting that. But an interesting thing is, I lost a lot of followers with that video. It's got a lot of views, but I lost a lot of followers with it. And it just made me sad for the people that unfollowed.
Telltale. Really?
Yeah. Like, why would that cause someone to unfollow?
You need to do a follow-up video and talk about that.
Because
we need to talk about this. Why?
Why doesn't that inspire you?
Yeah.
Why doesn't that think, shoot, if she can transform her body at 48 with
2 kids,
with menopause and hypothyroidism, and why doesn't that inspire you instead of does it make you feel bad about yourself? Don't accept that for yourself.
No, don't.
If that's what seeing people that are working on themselves, if seeing them succeed makes you feel bad, I understand, because I don't think it's good to consume content that does make you feel bad. So I understand maybe needing to mute content or something like that, but don't accept that as a permanent situation for yourself.
Right.
Because it means that it's tapping into something, an insecurity that you're not addressing. Because if you're someone that's on a journey, even if you're far from your goals, I think that post inspired you. But if it didn't inspire you, it's because it's tapping into something that you know maybe you should probably be doing something about.
And if you're unfollowing because of that post, guess what? You're not mad at her for it. You're mad at yourself.
Yeah.
You got to be honest. You better point the finger at the mirror and say, you know what? There's 3 fingers pointing back at me. I love when somebody said that on Instagram, like, it's you that has the problem.
I mean, look at my face in the video. I looked miserable. I was so bummed, and I knew I had to do that, and I was just like,
Aren't you glad
I just
you
wasn't
did it?
happy. But you know what I also said was, look, that body that's there, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just wasn't how I felt my best. I didn't feel comfortable in my skin, but I could easily have hidden it. All I had to do is throw some Lululemons on, a little zippy. I would have looked fine. You wouldn't know the difference. My followers would not know the difference.
That's crazy, though, that they unfollowed you over that.
Yeah.
That's a telltale sign. It kind of reminds me of some of my guys that are being coached under Wes Watson, and their tough love message. Like, they go hard. They call mediocre men out. They call them out busted dad bods. They call them out, oh, you think you're a man because you smoke, drink, and blow your money on yourself versus your kid. Like, they give them a harsh message, and people come for them. They get mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, they're not mad. I tell my boys, they're not mad at you. They're mad at themselves.
No, it's
They just
true.
don't like to being called down. It's like they almost take it personal, like you're talking to them directly, like, homeboy, I don't even know you.
Right.
At all. I never met you. So if
Yeah.
you're taking it personal, that's on you. I don't know you. I'm not talking
Exactly.
directly. I'm talking about as men, we should be doing better. We should be leveling up. We should be leading the household. You know, you don't think your woman wants a warrior? You don't think your woman wants that guy that's jacked, fit, strong? If something hits his doorstep, he can protect his family? No, they won't. Instead, these guys are, I got a dad bod and I'm happy. I'm going to settle for that. No. You're lying to yourself. You're not happy because you have 2 options. One dude is fat with a beer gut. The other dude is jacked with abs, strong. Guess what? You're going to pick the guy that's jacked with abs and strong.
100%.
Don't lie to yourself. Stop lying. Men got to stop lying to themselves. They're becoming like, hate to say this, but they're becoming like chicks these days or worse. Very sensitive.
Yeah.
It's bad
I know.
on my side.
I mean, if just in general, if there's something that you see that you take offense to, that and they're not, it's not like they picked up the phone and they're calling you directly.
Exactly.
So why are you taking offense unless it applies to you?
Yes.
If it applies to you, then maybe you have to do there's some work that has to be done.
You need some deep therapy within yourself. And what's crazy is this is all social media is wild because these people think like you're talking to them directly. Like you picked up the phone and Jeanine, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, right?
No, I don't know you from Dom, Dick, and Harry, bro. What are you talking about? Why are you getting all mad and bent out of shape? It's funny to me. It's hilarious. I laugh at it. I don't take no offense to it. Like if guys come for me, you know, if they
because I know it's not about
harsh.
me.
No.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just speak the truth. Like you know what you want, but you know you got to put in work. But no, you don't want to. Make a plethora of excuses. Like what we say. Let me see your phone. Let me see how much Netflix you watch. Let me see how much TV time you watch. Let me see how much time you spend playing video games. Let me look at all that. Tell me I don't got no time for the gym.
Listen,
or to better
I
myself.
have to, and I know, and it is hard to kind of like always remember why you're doing this and all of that, and you kind of lose sight of things, and it's easy to slip. I mean, but that's why like even my body boot camp clients, I'm in there, like I read through, even when they're not talking to me, they're talking amongst each other. I start reading and I can kind of see the moods kind of dipping a little bit with some people, and I'll pipe in there with a video like, hey, like chin up, like don't let that freaking devil on your shoulder convince you that you don't want this. You want this.
You want this.
Trust me when I tell you you want this. So don't give in to that. This is a temporary emotion. Never make permanent decisions on temporary emotions.
That's very good advice. You
Never.
better take that gem and run with it, you guys.
Yes,
That's a very
never,
good advice.
because it's so true. Just in general, everything in my life. I know even sometimes people may look at things that I do and it seems like it's out of nowhere. Like, you know, when I dyed my hair black or when I got divorced, like that came out of nowhere. I'm an Aquarius, okay? We process everything internally before we ever do anything. So if I do something, it's because I have really thought about it. It's not based off of a temporary emotion or on a whim. I think everything through methodically before it comes into fruition, before I execute. But on the outside, it looks like maybe I execute quickly, but not necessarily. It's well thought out. That's why we talk about living in Miami. Like, where did that come from? It's been in my mind for years.
Oh, we said it. Of all the places where we vacationed in the United States of America, we've gone from New York to LA to Vegas, you name it. Miami's the one place where we're sad to go home to. Even though we love our dogs, we love our home, it's sad because Miami's so beautiful.
Yeah.
The vibe out there. Something about the vibe.
So what makes me happy is thinking about being out there with our dogs. So that's one thing. And then waiting for like, oh, guess what? Next weekend, Alyssa and Hy are coming into town. Then it's like next month, Tyler's coming into town. I know we will have probably at least 6 months out of a 12-month year, we'll have visitors coming into town, like rotating, visiting and stuff. So I get so happy thinking about that life. And so I know that it's right. So now that I've been thinking about it so long, like obviously we're not quite executing it yet, but now I'm just speaking it into existence. It's not if, it is when.
Yeah.
It is going to happen. All right, you guys, moving on to a Q&A, because I throw up a question box on Instagram and we have some questions that came through. And you know what? I screenshotted them.
Interesting.
And I have not even read them. So we're going to read them. It's not like I read them and try to craft replies. I'm going to read them now and we'll see what they are. Okay. First one comes to us from Sabrina Del Real. What were the major symptoms you noticed with menopause?
I can't answer this.
I can. It's kind of interesting because it's more in hindsight, because it kind of, you just start to change and you don't realize it because it's very gradual. But I did notice that I would get random hot flashes. So randomly, I would like almost like an inferno internally would just kind of like heat up, and I'd be cold because I'm a cold person, and then all of a sudden I would like throw all the blankets off.
I remember that.
Remember?
You'd be burning up.
And I'd say like, it's so hot in here.
No, it's not, babe. You're tripping. You'd be burning up. That I do remember.
Yeah. So that started to happen, and that's what made me realize like, oh shoot, is this menopause? And then because of that, I started thinking like, okay, one of the major things, I stopped being able to sleep through the night. Like a child. It's like you revert back to like when you're an infant. I would fall asleep fairly easily, but then wake up and be up for 2-3 hours at a time when I would wake up. I was not able to sleep through the night, and that was huge. And with that one thing, it creates a domino effect of everything else, because if you don't sleep through the night, then your mood is terrible the next day, your cravings are high, your energy is low, and that sets off a plethora of less exercise, less movement, less motivation, more food. Then the weight gain starts to happen. And then when you start to gain the weight, because your progesterone is low, estrogen is low, any weight gain, even if it's a little bit, is concentrated. It's a lot to the midsection. I got like a lot in like my love handle area, and my lower stomach just started to get kind of larger. But yeah, those were kind of like, that's what happened with me. Oh, she also says, also, I met you at Taki's birthday. I have been listening to your podcast since. I love it. Oh, thanks, Sabrina. That's so nice. Very cool.
That's cool. Thank you for the support.
Okay, Anna Athani says, is it better to eat high fiber gluten bread that's 30 calories each versus a high calorie with good ingredients? Okay, well, first of all, just because something has gluten in it doesn't mean that it's unhealthy or bad ingredients necessarily. So unless you have an intolerance to gluten, there's no reason to avoid gluten.
Facts.
So I do not have an intolerance to gluten, so I rather eat a high fiber bread that has gluten in it. It's going to help me get my fiber in. It's going to be more calorie friendly, help me stick to my calorie goals. So yeah, I definitely pick based on like what's going to help me reach my macro goals, which for me includes fiber, includes protein, and includes watching my calorie intake. So unless you have a reason to avoid gluten, I think people automatically gravitate towards things that are gluten-free thinking they're healthier. They're not healthier. They're just a better choice or an option for someone who actually has an intolerance to gluten.
Very good answer. You know what they made me think of that when you said the bread? I don't know where my mind is going, man, but I was thinking about making a sandwich. Where the hell is my mind thinking about a sandwich?
Ooh, this is an interesting question. Vanessa Guardado. Thoughts on the bigger one-up athletes in Miami. I was surprised to see average bodies.
Ooh, She's not wrong about that.
Yeah,
you're not wrong at all, Vanessa. It was
they have a following, and so the reason they are with One Up Nutrition, the reason they were there is not only do they have a following, but that following is purchasing.
Yes, they're buying.
So the people,
money.
the people that were invited to participate in the One Up were top contributors to the company in terms of revenue, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe. And so the people that are there, a lot of you might be aware of, like Heidi Summers. She owns Buff Bunny Collection, and her clothing brand is very size inclusive. And she is one of the major, or one of the first big One Up athletes. And she's been with One Up Nutrition, promoting One Up Nutrition for many, many years. And her company is big on size inclusivity and having a really broad range of sizes. And so a lot of her people, oh, you dropped your coffee. A lot of her people that represent Buff Bunny also represent One Up Nutrition. So I think there's some synergy there, and that's why you see a lot of the size inclusivity. But I'm not going to lie. I mean, I was someone that I almost thought that, and I'm sure many people have thought this, that I almost felt like, oh my gosh, am I going to be fit enough to be at this event or whatever? But to be honest, there was people of all sizes, ages, and ethnicities. And let's just say One Up they don't discriminate.
We were the oldest.
Yeah. We were the oldest. So, yeah.
We represented very well. That's all I'm going to say.
They have an inclusive, mindset, I guess, when it comes to their athletes. And they're all performing, or they would not have been at the event.
Very true.
Yeah. But good question.
Very good question.
All right. There's that. Okay. Moving on. Oh, geez. I wonder who asked this question. What is it like having the most perfect daughter? Alyssa.
She asked that?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, your daughter she's pretty amazing, man. She handles business.
Yeah, she is.
She doesn't mess around. When she sets her mind to something, she's like you. Gets after it. There's no contemplating. There's no talking. She executes.
She's an executor.
Yeah.
She definitely got that from her mama.
Yep.
I love it.
That's funny.
All right, Jenny, how many miles do you walk per day? I try to walk 5 miles per day, but if I don't, I don't. So like today, it didn't happen. I got what I could in. I think I did 3 miles today. So the goal is 5, but get on there and get some done regardless. So
something's better than nothing.
Yeah, but it's nice to have a goal to work towards. I would say that over the course of 7 days, I probably get 25 miles in 7 days. 25 to 30 miles over the course of 7 days.
Yeah. What do you like, 10,000 steps a day?
Well, I do 5 miles. I don't track my steps. Because I don't track my steps because when I walk and work, the Apple Watch doesn't track the steps because my arms aren't moving.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So I just started doing miles. So I'm sure I get more because 5 miles is approximately 10,000 steps, but I don't track the rest of my day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
I definitely get in quite a bit, but I'm working and stacking. I call it stacking because I do multiple things at one time to maximize time.
Yep. Smart.
Thoughts on the erythritol study stating it's harmful? I haven't read the study, so I can't really comment on it. I know that thus far, every study that has come out that I am aware of about sugar alcohols being harmful, all go back to volume. Anything is harmful in extreme cases, right? Or extreme volume. So but I can't comment on this study particularly because I don't know. I haven't seen BioLane saying anything. He's always said the sugar alcohol studies are bogus.
Yes, he does. He still stands on that, by the way. I seen something recently with him on that.
Oh, this is absolutely incorrect, but let's debunk. I heard protein doesn't matter for muscle growth as long as you stimulate the muscle.
And the lie detector detected that was a lie.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I can explain it. If you stimulate the muscle by utilizing it, and what happens when you stimulate the muscle is the muscle fiber, it kind of creates little micro tears in the muscle.
Yes.
And so then the muscle needs to repair back. If you want that muscle to repair back ever so slightly larger, it needs to pull the amino acids in to create. It's almost like think about consuming protein as like little Legos that are floating around. And when your muscles go to repair back, if they can repair back with the little Legos, they're going to repair back a little bigger. If there's no protein to pull from in there, they won't. So they'll tear and repair, but they will not get any bigger. And not to mention, if you don't eat even just enough protein to maintain that muscle, they're actually your body's going to utilize the muscle to create the amino acids it needs, and it's going to get smaller. So, yeah. Do you have any thoughts on?
I mean, I come from the bodybuilding world. Those guys wouldn't be as massive as they were, extremely massive, if they didn't take in large amounts of protein to feed those huge muscles of theirs. So, yeah. False.
Okay, 60 pounds down since the birth of my second. Is surgery the only way for a flat stomach? I have 2 children and have never had surgery, so my stomach is quite flat.
Yes, it is.
So no, that is not the case. If you have body fat to lose, you just need to keep going into a calorie deficit. Even if maybe you don't have like rolls, but your stomach sticks out, it just means you have visceral fat that's in your organs, pushing out the organs. So if your stomach is not flat from the side, there's fat that can be lost.
Very true.
All right, let's see. Oh, what's a loving way? This is going to be for you. What's a loving way to tell my boyfriend I want more alone time? It's an ongoing issue for us. I'm feeling smothered. So she is feeling like she needs a break from her boyfriend. She's being smothered, like too much together time. What do you think is a good way to break it to him? Like, hey, I need a little bit of space.
If I was to break it to a woman?
What would be a way that you would feel not offended, like by if I told you?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, communication is everything. Yeah. It's all you could do. There's no magic answer, and he might get butthurt over it, but you just got to be honest and truthful and tell him, hey, I need a little space, man. I need to breathe. Because I had a few, when I was dating, kind of want to take my time. A lot of time the weekends were reserved for me and the boys, man. I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it was. And some of the times they would want to like kick it, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to kick it on the weekends. And eventually I had to break it to him, like, you know what, this is kind of like my time. I'm just being honest,
That's prime time, the weekend. You didn't want to give them prime time?
No, sorry.
I got prime time.
You did, but you were special. They weren't. Sorry. I don't know. I have no problem telling someone I'm getting smothered too much. I'll back up. Because I had a chick who was, before you, I was kind of dating. She was a little, try to smother me. I'm like, I don't need another mother. I don't like that mothering shit.
I do feel that it's just important to have the honest conversation. Because if you don't have the conversation, it's going to show in your actions. It's going to show in the way your mood and the way you treat him. It's going to start to reflect in other ways that are going to cause bigger problems. It's better just to communicate exactly what you need, and then it's up to him to, listen and understand or not.
Yeah.
But I think that it's best to be direct and not beat around the bush.
It's better now than before you get real serious with them. I don't know how serious she is with her boyfriend, but what I mean serious is like tying the knot type of serious. So it's better now to communicate with him.
All right. Sometimes wondering if you ever feel sick from the keto breads and protein snacks, because it would make me feel sick. So I love your recommendations, but then
negative for me.
Do you ever notice sugar alcohol is bothering you? I tried eating too much of it. Yeah, it can. So that's one thing about sugar alcohols. Everybody has different sensitivities. There are some that cause more digestive discomfort than others, but you have to pay attention. See if you can pinpoint which one it is, like when you feel sick, and look at the ingredients, see if you find a common denominator. I can tell you, for a lot of people, the culprit is inulin. Inulin is a certain fiber that's in a lot of those keto snacks and protein snacks, and it causes some digestive distress in a lot of people. And inulin is one of those, but you have to just kind of pay attention. Like I know Built Bars for some people. I think there's inulin fiber in Built Bars, and For some people, like they can have one, but if they have two, they can kind of feel it.
Yeah.
And it is, sugar alcohols is something that does cause digestive distress, and the volume matters. For me, I'm just lucky it doesn't really affect me at all. But I don't eat a lot of eat a lot of that stuff. And the Bear Bells protein bars that I eat, they don't have inulin.
No.
But I know I've had some people, they struggle with that. And what I say is listen to your body. If there is something that you eat that your body is reacting to, that's your body's way of sending you a text message like, yo, stop eating this. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So don't ignore that. Find something else. Find something that your body likes, because then you're going to be, it's like swimming against the current. It makes your process harder. You're going to be bloated. You're not going to feel very good.
Yeah.
There's plenty of food out there. Find things that your body likes.
That's like me eating black beans or drinking regular milk. That is a no.
For my sake, please don't eat those things.
Exactly.
Please.
So I know my body have told me like, no, homie, we're not doing that.
Okay, this is a good question. This is good questions, you guys. Wow. How did you deal with Mike's addiction and give him grace while you're doing all the things? Like, I had to kind of like pick up the pieces a lot during that time. You know what? I went into like emergency mode. Like when things happen in life and sometimes you think back and think, how did I get through that? Like all of the traumatic, difficult things that I've endured, I go into like a different gear. And I just get through it, and I don't know how, but you just do.
Especially
it's kind of like,
attempt.
yeah.
How did you deal with that? I never asked you. Ooh, sorry about that. How did you deal with that?
Well, like I said, and I remember during that time I was very busy with coaching clients. I had just signed up a bunch of new clients that week, and I had to keep going. It's kind of like Crystal Carrasco on the podcast on Friday, Zenaida's mom. I asked her that same question, like, how did you get through that crazy time, And she goes, you just do. Do what you need to do, and it's like a blur.
You hit a different gear, I guess. You don't think about it, you just do it. Like Nike says, just do it, right?
Yeah, you just do it. I have to admit, though, if I'm being completely honest, the most recent situation with weed, that one kind of started to wear on me. Because I felt like, fuck, here we go again. Like I felt more anger than I usually do. Usually I felt like I have more compassion. Like the other things you've gone through, right? I've had more compassion. That this time I kind of felt a little bit like resentful. And I think it's because you had quit during your episode, and I had told you this is not a good idea, and I was kind of angry with that, but I let it go and let you smoke anyway. And then here I am 2 years, 3 years later, whatever, having to now, because you decided that it was right for you to keep smoking, then I had to deal with it. I don't think I was as compassionate as I have been in the past with other things. I mean, you can speak to how I treated you during that time. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
We're going back and forth a little bit. Mm-hmm. We're bickering at each other. I could tell. I probably wasn't the easiest. I know I wasn't the easiest. I didn't feel good. It was tough. It was a tough time for me. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was gonna be. I was like, oh shit, this is a lot harder.
Yeah.
Fucking demons are trying to reel me back in, And there's times where, wait a minute, 7 o'clock, I need to go to the garage smoke. Wait a minute, I don't smoke anymore. I had to like get out of that habit. I created a bad habit.
No, I know, but in terms of like how I dealt with it,
You did the best you could.
I did.
You also were dealing with your father.
Yeah.
At that time, so it was a lot on your plate, and I had to tell myself that, she already has a lot of shit she's dealing with, and then on top of my bullshit, and then I had some family bullshit, so it was like everything was just piling up.
Yeah, it was
at once.
So it was very difficult, to be honest. And I think the most important thing is you do what you need to do to get them out of the mud, but then they have to do what they need to do to acknowledge their part in putting you through that. And that helps, because otherwise, if you get them out of the mud and then they just want to forget about it and act like it never happened and just go about their merry way, then you develop resentment. But I have to say, with you, what's made it easier and what's made it for us to be able to recover from those dark times that we've been through is because once you get clear-headed and the smoke clears, you acknowledge your part in like, all right, like I realize what I put you through and I'm sorry for that. And that's honestly, that's all I need to disarm. It lets you release the resentment and then you move on.
Too bad a lot of people don't do that. Don't take accountability.
They don't.
For their fuck-ups. So what they put their family through, their spouse, their loved ones, their kids, they just say, oh, well, you just deal with it. No.
They don't want to take accountability.
Yeah, that's not cool.
They want to say one quick sorry and then think that you should be over it and let's never talk about it again.
No, that's not how it works.
Doesn't work that way.
Nope. You guys better take accountability if you're fucking up. Like I was fucking up.
So I think it's a two-way street. And I think that if that's not happening or you in your situation, you need maybe to seek counseling because maybe a counselor can help.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. What is considered a cheat day? Do you still count calories or is it just one meal? Depends on where you're at in your journey.
That's a good answer, actually. You're right.
There is no single answer that will work for everybody listening. As a coach, it depends on my client. It depends on where they're at in their journey. I'll have to take a look, we see where we're at with the client. Just like with everything, like some clients got to track their greens. Some don't have to.
Right.
It just, everybody is different. So I can give you a general answer to try to help. If you are on your journey, a cheat meal a week and be mindful, still be mindful. Like you maybe add 500 to 750 calories on top of your current daily calorie limit and try to fit your days, your cheat meal into that. So like if you're trying to hit 1,500 every day, maybe once a week, 2,000 to 2,300 calories and try to fit your cheat meal into that. If you're in maintenance, it just depends on what your style of maintenance is, It just depends. I like a cheat day when I'm in maintenance. I do a cheat meal when I'm not in maintenance. When I'm trying to cut, I do a cheat meal.
That's true. Maintenance? Oh, we go a little bit crazy sometimes. We'll have donuts.
Yeah, so what happens? That's why every 4 to 6 months we have to go into a cut because maintenance plus a cheat day equals body fat.
Yep.
And so after the course of 6 months, you got about 10 pounds of body fat you got to get off. So it's kind of fun, though, to be honest. I don't mind to do that. I think it's kind of
challenging.
Yeah.
It pulls you back. Like, all right, time to test yourself again.
Yeah.
Don't let yourself go off the deep end too far.
Always remain within striking distance.
Always.
Yeah. But if you're on your journey, like I just recently talked about this in another episode, but if you're on a transformation journey, you have to be mindful. Eye on the prize, 1 weekly cheat meal.
That's it.
So that you can transform. When you're not on a transformation journey, you do maintenance time and you do cut time. You've already transformed. You stay within striking distance. That's a different ballgame. So it just depends.
Yeah.
For us, we're not on a transformation journey. So it kind of just switches. Sometimes we, maybe like once every couple months, we have an off the chains day.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Like we just had that off the chains 24 hours when we came back from Miami and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And that's it. That's all the questions. But there was a lot of good questions there.
Some good questions.
Yeah. Thank you, you guys. And let us know what you think of doing more Q&As because we're open. We're open book. We're ready to.
I like it. Different.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. I hope you guys liked it. Let us know what you think of this scene, this setup, and any suggestions for future episodes. We're all ears because we're here to provide value for you guys and for you guys to get something out of it. So thank you so much, and we'll see many of you over on the after show because we're still having an after show, and then on Wednesday, or we're going to have our Patreon show. All right, you guys.
Yes.
See you next time.